I inherited a cabin in the woods, and something strange has been happening there lately. Part 2. In retrospect, going outside to investigate wasn't exactly the brightest idea, but I got dressed, grabbed a flashlight, and stepped out into the cold night. When I reached the shed, I saw that the padlock had been unlocked and was lying on the ground. A few centimeters of snow revealed a set of footprints running parallel to the tree line before disappearing into the woods. A wave of unease washed over me as I realized I wasn't alone. I hurriedly closed the door to the shed and ran back to my cabin. Before I stepped inside, I glanced toward the tree line. I felt an intense dread, the unmistakable feeling of being watched from the darkness. I stayed up until morning, and in the comfort of the sunlight, I went outside to investigate the footprints again. They circled the entire property along the tree line, including the path that leads down to the parking area. The prints looked bipedal, but the distance between each step was over twice that of my own. November 2023. I was laying in bed, listening to a podcast, when I heard what sounded like footsteps on the roof. They moved slowly from one end of the house toward my bedroom, then stopped directly above me. A stillness followed. I tried to rationalize what I'd heard. Squirrels sometimes wandered across the roof, but whatever this was sounded much heavier. The silence continued for a few more minutes, which turned into an hour, and I eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I noticed deep scratch marks on the door leading up to the attic. In the summer of 2024, my girlfriend and I decided to stay at the cabin for the weekend. I was in the living room watching TV while she had gone to the grocery store. The kitchen is around a corner from the living room, and there is a back door in the kitchen that isn't visible from where I was sitting. Suddenly, I heard her voice calling out from the kitchen, asking for help carrying in the groceries from the car. Assuming she had just returned early, I walked out the front door and headed down the path toward the parking lot. Halfway there, I froze. Our car was absent. I felt dizzy, wondering if I'd imagined her voice. I had to choose between going back inside to investigate or making the 20-minute walk along the gravel road through the forest to the main road. In hindsight, perhaps it was a stupid decision to go back to the cabin, but I walked back to the front door and peeked inside. I listened for a few seconds, but I couldn't hear anything. That's when I noticed that the forest also had fallen completely silent. I combed through each room, searching for any indication of an intruder. But to my relief, nothing seemed out of the ordinary except for the back door being unlocked. I still regularly visit the cabin on weekends and holidays. Even after everything I've experienced, I haven't been deterred. There's something about that place that keeps drawing me back. I suppose the one positive thing to come out of all this is that I never forget to lock my doors.